Welcome to the PHNX Coyotes postgame show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah Merrill here with Steve Peters. We'll be joined by Craig shortly.
Right back where we started,
right from the start.
Right where we started, and so we got all excited, points in 5 of 7, and we were starting to get, hey, well, what about the draft?
Two-game winning streak, 5-3-2 in the last 10.
Deep breath, because there's a lot of hockey left, and there's going to be a lot of losses coming up.
Yeah.
So, this we were talking, gosh, they might be 5th or 6th. Yeah, you know what? They might not. They might finish 32nd, because this is still a bad hockey team.
That game, I just have to say it off the top, was that one of the most unentertaining games?
It was boring. It was a boring hockey game. It's a boring hockey game from both sides. The Islanders know how to play defense, right? They're a defensive team. They don't give up many chances. They protect the net well. They defend the rush very well. All of the things that the Coyotes did not do tonight. They didn't defend the rush well. There were odd man rushes throughout the game. They didn't defend the net front at all. Wedgie was left out to dry on. And this is the problem for this team since day one, is their ability to defend the net front. I don't know when that is going to change. I don't know when it becomes an issue. Defensemen aren't under sticks, and they're not back to protect the net front. Cost them tonight, because you look at the goals tonight. The first two are directly around the front of the net where guys weren't underneath sticks. And then all that means by underneath sticks is the defenseman lifts up their stick so they can't get a stick on the puck. So that happened on the first two. Then you got a bad rush. And then the third one's the fourth one's kind of kicked in as the guy's sliding. Yeah. So it was a tough night. And unfortunately for the Coyotes, it only gets tougher tomorrow when they pull into Madison Square Garden. Vejmelka goes back in the net. First time he's ever played in Madison Square Garden. It's a different vibe. It's a different building. It's a different pressure. There's a lot going on when you go to Madison Square Garden. Maybe that's one of those arenas. Maybe he lights it up and gets 46 saves again. But it'll be interesting to see how he responds tomorrow night.
Mr. Stalin, thank you for your super chat. Coyotes win tonight.
I know, but he's
we
right.
Won't see it coming. True. Also, are they going to ruin the Kachinas with crappy advertisements?
Yeah, you know what? If there's a way to make a buck in the NHL, they clearly will do it. So if they're going to add it, they'll cover the hell out of the Kachina.
Well, I think to get through this one, we need to crack one open. And I know Sean behind the Mac has one as well.
No giggling.
I didn't spill today.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And in all seriousness, though, and you know, I don't know why I get a bad rap for being grumpy. I don't understand it, but wait till you get a full beer to say that. But this is the plan again, and finally they're kind of back on track.
So Ruler 14 said we need a rebuild reminder. Why don't you grab the button? And I know that's the right one because that's the wrong button.
Rebuild reminder.
Thanks, Aaron.
There it is.
We still miss you, but that's true. So you get points in 5 of 7. You go past the Montreal Canadiens. You go, we're tied with Ottawa. You get concerned. There is a difficult stretch in the schedule for this team, and they're going to play a lot of games and a lot of nights, a lot on the road. They're going to be tough. And the next 2 games, the Rangers and Pittsburgh, are 2 teams that are both bound for the playoffs. It's going to be a tough couple of nights on the rest of this road trip.
Before we get ahead to the rest of the road trip, let's look at tonight by the numbers. 4-0 final. Shots, literally, they were outshot 2-1. Islanders had 34 shots to the Coyotes 17. The Coyotes had no power play opportunities. They killed both of the Islanders' power plays, but still not much. And I think the most important stat on there is the PD side count. I think that's an all-time high.
It's a long day.
I
know. I didn't know. You guys got to stop counting, or let me know you're counting.
Oh, you didn't. I would say it out loud every time you sighed.
Yeah.
This might have been an all-time side count day.
And it's little things too. It's the carpet in the studio. It's the little things that make me sigh. It's just true. It's got a big thing in it.
So, and that's another game where the Coyotes just aren't having a high shot output once again.
Tough. It's once in the last month they've outshot a team one time, and it was against the Nashville Predators. Again, when we talked about how this team was built over the summer, there were no offensive superstars. Clayton Keller, you knew, Kessel, Krause may contribute. But they need everybody going if they're going to get shots on net and they're going to have a good offensive night and a good offensive output. Tonight wasn't that night. They never felt like they got their legs going. They never had an offensive zone time. And give some credit to the Islanders. They defend extremely well. I mean, that's part of what makes this team click, and a Barry Trotz team is you defend well. And also say the goaltender played well too. So you put all those things together, you're not going to have a lot of shots. They had more shots in the first than they did last game.
Yeah.
So
Four?
Which is 4 times as many as the last one. It just never felt like they got their engines going today.
Not at all.
Yeah, they just never had it. You never felt like they were in it.
No. Let's pull up your keys, because we brought it up a few times as we were watching the games that they were not executing on the keys.
Yeah, the breakout quick, and when you saw the Islanders, their F1, meaning the first forward in the zone on the puck, extremely quick, and F2 and F3, the next two forwards in the zone, are quick to what we say double up or take away the walls. And I thought the Islanders did an outstanding job on the forecheck tonight and not allowed the Coyotes out of the zone, and that's how they end up defending so much. Protect Wedgie, we talked about how difficult it was to protect the net front and how many goals went in around the net, and find a way to win. And when you need to find a way to win, you need good goaltending, and you have to find a way to create offense. So unfortunately, we didn't get the keys to the game tonight.
Yeah. Usually when they don't get the keys, they don't win, Petey.
They don't win.
I mean, it's not like they're winning a whole lot, but
it's not like rocket science.
And I'm sure as soon as we tweeted out, the coaches are running to the printer and pasting it in the locker room as inspiration.
For sure, and I'm sure they're listening right now because they're all dialed in on the bus
back to Manhattan,
from Long Island to Manhattan.
100%. I want to get to some of the comments I've been seeing. First of all, that we're coordinating our shirts.
Yeah,
this was not planned.
Thanks, Karen. Like Karen notices.
Yeah, and Craig is not wearing the black Coyote, but
I know,
he should
put on
be.
Your surprise face.
Yeah.
Craig's not sporting Cody.
No, and now it's going to look so weird because it's like 1, 2.
Yeah, it's like Sesame Street. Which one of these things does not belong? Well, clearly we know which one that is.
So that's the first one.
Thanks for noticing, Karen.
Yes, and well, Charles earlier too noticed, but Christian said even before Chychrun got hurt, he looks out of sync with the rest of the team.
For the last game that Chychrun played in New Jersey, I thought you saw him offensively. He had a couple of shots in the zone. He walked into a one-timer in the third period, and he thought maybe his legs are coming back. This Islander team was probably a little too much for him to handle off of the rush. They have some speedy, quick guys, and there was twice in the third period alone where Chick had a hard time defending the rush. And again, that comes back to timing and having played for a while and getting your feet underneath you. That will improve as he plays more, but it was evident that he struggled with the rush, but so did the whole team. Like, you can't give up 2-on-1s consistently over and over, night after night, 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s, 3-on-2s. You have to defend better if you're not going to score. And so if you already know you're challenged offensively, and they had that outburst when they were in Anaheim and San Jose where they put up big numbers, but if you're not going to score, you better defend better. You better have your third forward high. You better not have your D pinch. You better be watching what's coming in front of you so you can counter their numbers and you're not 2-on-1 against in the rush against column. So those are the things that frustrate me over and over with this team. And what's happened, and when we did get the wins, they got the wins, it was the goaltender played well. Yeah. Vejmelka makes 46 saves, or he bails them out. And it's not against Wedgie tonight. No. He was hung out to dry again.
Yeah, there wasn't really much he could do. And also, it was Wedgewood's first game since December 28th. So that's almost a full month without game time. So I'm sure it was kind of a challenge for him to, just like we noticed the Coyotes not having their engines going. I'm sure he wasn't feeling 100% up to game speed tonight. I'm sure
and having said that, though, some really, really nice saves.
Yeah, especially right at third. And right at the end there, he had that amazing toe save too. So
for a goaltender, they need to get game reps to get up to game speed. I thought he played well, considering he hasn't played for that long, and I thought he made some nice saves. Has he played better for this team? Yeah, yes. I think he has. But I don't put anything on Scott Wedgewood tonight. I thought he had a solid game, especially considering he's been out of the lineup for so long. So I thought he played well. But Veggie's going to have to be lights out tomorrow. I mean, if we talk about the keys to the game right now, it's going to be Veggie. Like, he is going to have to be good.
You should just do the emojis of vegetables.
Yeah, he's going to have to be good. And if we're sitting here 24 hours from now talking about a Coyotes win, Vejmelka is going to be the king of the game.
It's hard to imagine the Coyotes beating a Rangers team right now that's first in the Metropolitan, 26-10-4, 11-3-2 at home. But they did lose tonight 6-3 against Carolina, but Carolina is also a really great team. So, again, we'll get to all that tomorrow. More from this game, which there really isn't much. Like, that's the thing. It's like we're getting through all of our game notes pretty quickly. And as you can imagine, it was really hard to choose the DraftKings king of the game tonight. Like, no, I mean, obviously the Coyotes were shut out.
No points.
And so nobody has points. Everyone's a minus. Maybe some people had some shots on goal. Wedgewood wasn't awful, but he wasn't fantastic. So we just went outside the box a little, and we picked Andrew Ladd as our DraftKings king of the game because he made his return to Long Island, where he was traded to the Coyotes from this past offseason. Of course, Andrew Ladd was with Bridgeport of the AHL the last 2 seasons, only played 4 games with the Islanders in 2019-20, Bridgeport before that, the Islanders before that in 2018-19. So just great to see him not only play that game, but the fact that he has been a consistent person in the lineup for the Coyotes this season, and getting those game reps, and good for him to have an opportunity to extend his career.
You know, I was one of the naysayers right up to training camp, and I'll admit this. I said I didn't know he'd play many games for this team. I thought he'd lost a step, and even in preseason, we saw him play that first preseason game, and I said, he's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was slow. He couldn't keep up with the play, and I'll admit it right here. I was wrong. Like he has worked his ass off and has committed himself to making a return to the National Hockey League, and he's done it. He's played really well for this team. He wears a letter for this team for a reason. He's well respected in the room. He says the right things, does the right things, plays the right way. He fights to stick up for teammates. He's offensively driving the net all the time. He deserves to be king of the game tonight on his homecoming, not because of his performance in the game, but his body of work as a whole for this entire season, and he's done a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you haven't checked it out already, Craig posted a story today on GoPHNX.com about Andrew Ladd and his return to Long Island, as we kind of all just mentioned. So if you haven't had a chance to go and read that story, go do so at GoPHNX.com. You can access that story as a member, so sign up for a membership today. Just under $60 for a year. You can get a shirt when you sign up. You can get the red Cody or the purple Cody, or there's a black Cody or the Coyote cutout. And I should mention, while we're talking about our shirts, right now, the members only deal of the week is buy one, get one 50% off Coyote shirts. So I mean, there's really no better time to become a member if you are a Coyotes fan. This week at GoPHNX.com, become a member, buy one, get one 50% off, and get your free shirt when you sign up for the year. So you can get 3 shirts in one. One's free, one you pay for, one's
and maybe you can give one to Craig because he's not.
I know we left him out of the group text.
Unbelievably soft. We say it all the time. Tagless.
Yeah. Sean's wearing one that I will not mention the name.
Which one?
It's the Sun Devil.
Oh.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Forks up.
And look who's here. It's Hallway
Forks
Craig.
up,
Hallway Craig. Not Elevator Craig. It's Hallway Craig. Oh, where's the... Oh.
Better not go over the beer.
We thought you changed.
Yeah. The viewers were wondering if you were going to be wearing the black Cody.
The black Cody.
So we'd all be
Purple Cody,
coordinated.
red Cody, black.
You know better than that.
Shut down right away. Craig, who did you talk to tonight, and was there any insight to this thrilling game that we just watched?
How much that we couldn't figure out for ourselves. You fall behind the Islanders, you're in trouble. They play a trapping game. They defend well. You're probably going to lose if you fall behind against this team. They didn't have much in the way of scoring chances anyway in this game, but if you're not going to capitalize early, and they thought they had an okay start, if you're not going to capitalize early, you're in trouble against this team. They're playing well. As you said, they defend really well. And, Scott Wedgewood hadn't played in almost a month. He was okay tonight, but I didn't think he, stole anything for them, and that's probably what you're going to need in this game too. So.
And now it's a bus ride back to the hotel in the cold, in the snow, and get up tomorrow. They don't go to a morning skate because that's not a Andre thing.
No.
And then you face the Rangers tomorrow.
Yeah. They're flying back from Carolina, so.
Yeah.
They'll
probably get to bed about the same time,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So that's an even game. It's a tough building to play in.
Yeah.
Although the Coyotes over the last 5 years,
someone in the comments mentioned that the Coyotes have
done
weird
well.
luck at MSG.
Seen some of those games.
They've
Derek
done well there.
Stepan,
They've gone
bar
to
down.
shootouts. They've gone to overtime. But yeah, step on bar down, overtime winner.
Charles said Pens and Bruins are easy losses coming up. Only reason I don't include Rangers is because the Yotes have weird luck at MSG.
And it's true, they do, and they usually get it to the extra frame, and have had some good games there against teams that are much better than them in the standings. So. Don't write it out. And I said if they do get a win, you can look to the king of the game tomorrow night will be Karel Vejmelka if they get a win.
Probably. Yeah.
We can write it up right now.
They're going to need that the way the Rangers come.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, that's the insight to tomorrow's keys of the game.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Veggie.
That's it.
Just veggie.
Yeah. That's it. Key to the game.
That's it. That's it for the game, right?
So we talked about Ladd. We talked about
Literally-
the article.
Who's the book on that game?
We have nothing else to say.
You already talked about Andrew Ladd's return?
Uh-huh.
Well, he's king of the game.
And we talked about your story.
My story. I mean, he's such a good interview.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about just bearing your soul and he just told me everything he went through mentally, emotionally, physically. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's something people need to follow that story because what he's done is remarkable that you didn't give up and quit.
Yeah.
Because the road was so long.
And it wasn't just 1 year, Petey.
Oh,
I mean,
it's incredible.
he's been in
It is
purgatory
incredible
for a while.
that he's done what he's done here. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a
Great to
testament to
see.
him. And again, it goes back to what Bill Armstrong did when he put this group together. I know he was looking for the draft picks. And I know it wasn't about, hey, I'm hunting for these players. I wanted draft picks. These are the players I got. He's fortunate enough that the players he did get were upstanding citizens in the locker room.
And that mattered to him in the acquisition. It did. They said it all along that they wanted to get that kind of player. So
Which is great.
give them credit for bringing. I mean, you talk to these guys, and we can run down the list. We've done it before.
Yeah.
There's so many good veterans in that locker room.
Well, I know there's a few other topics that we wanted to get to relating to the Islanders and relating to other stuff related to this game and not directly related to the actual game, which thank God, because I don't know what else we could have said.
Yeah.
But before we get there, it is Friday and there is football the next 2 days. And it's this point every week that
Sean's flexing back there.
Yeah, that we come up with our DraftKings pick of the week. And because Sean is way more into betting, we're going to have Sean once again give his pick for the DraftKings pick of the week. So, Sean?
All right. As you know, as I've been pretty vocal about before on this show, I am an avid supporter of the Buffalo Bills, especially now that the Cardinals are out. I have no one else to root for. So the Bills are +2 at the Kansas City Chiefs this weekend. So that could be a lock of the week, but I'm not a coward, so I'm taking Bills money line straight up. The Bills are going to win straight up. That's my lock of the week.
Aggressive.
I think Josh Allen's going to go crazy like he did last week, and our secondary is going to give Pat Mahomes fits, and Jackson Mahomes is going to cry on his TikTok. That's my lock of the week.
Wow.
Petey, have you heard of Jackson Mahomes on TikTok? I know you're not a TikTok guy.
I have.
No.
Go ahead. You want to spend time on this?
The DraftKings Sportsbook Act pick of the week is Bills money
Money
line.
line.
over
Money
Chiefs.
line, baby.
Money line.
Wow.
I would even, if the
Aggressive.
Bills were -2, I would take
I
that.
don't know, Jess. Is that his kid?
No, it's his brother, and he is so annoying on TikTok. Oh my God, I can't even get into it.
He's
I can't.
not just annoying; he's like a bad person. He danced on the memorial of a now dead Washington football team player. He is not a good dude.
Sorry, I missed that on my last browse through my TikTok.
So even more reason to
For your child's TikTok.
to choose the Bills.
That's how I know about TikTok.
Money line. So if you want to follow Sean in his bold pick, you can do so over
Bold
at the
strategy,
DraftKings
Colin.
Sportsbook app. And this week with the divisional round, counting down to Super Bowl 56, you can get 56-1 odds on any team. So new customers who sign up using the promo code PHNX bet just $5 and get $280 in free bets if the team you bet on wins. So be sure to take advantage of that this weekend at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Tomorrow and Sunday are the days to do that. So $5 to win, $280 in free bets if the team you bet on wins. That's 21 and over, Arizona only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Let's start with Wedgewood because...
You don't want to stay on the Bills? I think the Bills win that game. They're going to the Super Bowl, by the way, Sean.
If
I
they
agree.
win,
I'm
or
just
you
saying that.
think they do
If they win
win
that game, I'm not so confident that they're going to win that game. But if they get past Kansas City. I think
can I just shout out
Bowl.
Karen real quick because she gave me some love for my glasses.
What's up, Karen?
And I appreciate it, Karen. But yeah, no, you should be confident in the Bills. They're an absolute wagon, just like the Coyotes.
Just like the Coyotes.
Wide right.
Oh my God.
All right, go ahead. Back to Wedgie. You didn't talk Wedgie yet. You didn't talk the new gear?
No, I was waiting for you.
Oh, look at that.
So a few topics we wanted to get to unrelated to the game, but somehow also still related. So this was Wedgewood's first game since December 28th, and he had his New Jersey Devils gear for most of the beginning of the season with the Coyotes.
Yeah.
Slowly got his new Coyotes gear. So was this the first game he played in?
With the helmet.
With the helmet and the pads all together.
The mask, as people will get angry about if we don't call it a mask or a whatever.
So first, before we see him in the full gear, let's look at, what do you want to look at first, the helmets or the pads?
Well, the pads came first.
Okay, so I don't know if you can tell which one's which. There, yeah. So there's the pads. You guys are the goalies. Thoughts?
I never had anything this nice. You?
This nice is for what?
Forever. Anytime I played hockey.
My pads had deer hair in them, and they weighed 20 pounds.
That's exactly right.
My pads were brown leather.
Yes, exactly.
I was the last guy at my college to not have colored pads. Every goalie after me had nice fancy color pads. I was the last guy. I didn't. Went to my equipment manager. No, those are good for you.
So you clearly knew where I stood. Still in black and white when you were in college? Sorry.
I will say this, though. Count.
I will
what
say
is
this.
the PDSI count?
Oh, it was 13.
It's high. It's high. But let's talk about goalie pads.
At least.
Great. Match. Really cool colors. I'm a big believer, and I might be in the minority, and I'll get all the goalie people. Kat will probably be all over me as a goalie person. I don't like black goalie pads. I don't like the really dark black ones.
Because you got to find the puck?
What's that? No, it makes you look small. It's an optical illusion that you look smaller. The big white pads make you look bigger.
Okay.
And Mike Smith liked them dark. Briz had the black ones.
We know that coaches like their goalies to look big in net.
They do. If you don't think that's a discussion inside a room, you're wrong. Coaches sit there and talk about the color of a goalie's pads. I swear to God it happens. And they have discussions with the goalie coach. Are you sure that's the color his pad should be? And then they get the equipment guy in there and they get the goalie in there and they talk about the color of the pads. It's a thing. Yeah. I don't like the black pads. I think they look skinny.
I don't have that level of meaning to that discussion. Aesthetically, I think they're really cool.
Yeah, I think they're cool too.
They look great. They look great with the uniforms. They look great with the cachinas.
And let's pull up the helmet or the mask. Sorry.
Look at that.
It's awesome.
There's a lot going on in that mask, and I wrote about this recently.
It's got that matte finish to it too, so that's pretty sick.
He pulled it out so I could take photos of it from all angles. It's got shout outs to his family members. There's a kachina on there. I'm trying to remember all the things. He told me he wanted to get what was it, fluorescent purple? I think he wanted.
Oh, really?
No, fluorescent. He wanted a fluorescent paint, and they didn't have it because he thought it would look cool, in the dark when they were doing introductions, everything. But they didn't make the paint, so
he had to glow in the dark paint. That'd be cool. Yeah. It's a really cool mask.
It's really
cool.
I
like people, the masks that either tribute masks to either the organization, family, a person. I think that's really cool. I think that looks really nice.
Me too.
And it's finally, he looks
and let's
like
see
a Coyote
him
goalie.
From tonight in full gear. Let's see.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there it is.
There's Wedgie.
With the white kachina looks so
It's
good.
not how you feel. It's how you look. Do you know what that means? You have no idea what that reference is, do you? No? Billy Crystal, Saturday Night Live.
At you blankly.
You look
She's like
marvelous.
Billy Crystal.
No?
Who's that?
I know who Billy Crystal is,
Okay,
but
good.
I don't know the reference.
It's not how you feel, it's
here's
how
the
you
thing,
look.
guys.
And you look marvelous.
Carter Hutton's practicing on this trip.
Interesting.
What do we think? I don't know. I've said this before. I don't know if Carter Hutton's going to play again. But if he comes back,
then what?
You got to waive Scott Wedgewood, don't you?
I mean, you can't have three guys here for the rest of the year.
And they're not going to get rid of Wedgie.
That's not a fiscally responsible move.
Tough situation for Wedgie.
But
he just got his gear.
I know, right?
So
exactly.
Good.
Exactly.
It's so
good. It is hard because you've got to look at it from a business standpoint. You can't carry three goalies that are healthy and able to play on a team in the situation that this team is in. You can't send them down to Tucson because you've got two goalies in Tucson.
Yeah.
You're going to have to waive somebody. Somebody's going to have to go away.
Yeah.
And right now, the logical guy, unfortunately, would be Wedgie. So, having said that, I don't see Carter Hutton coming back in the next short while.
Yeah.
I don't think his return is imminent. Let's put it that way.
I don't think it is either, and I'm not sure if he's going to play again this season. So maybe Wedgie will get to play out the year with the Coyotes.
Yeah, and you know what? And I think that when Wedgie came in, he had hoped to play well enough and play enough games so that next season someone sees him as an NHL goalie.
Yep.
Not as their starter, but they see him as an NHL backup that can go in.
That's really
play
what he
20
wants.
games.
Number 2 guy instead of being viewed as a number 3 guy.
As a number 3.
Yeah.
Be a number 2, play your 20 to 25 games. You got to get your 10 wins. And Wedgie's got wins here. He's put up numbers here. So hopefully his career next year takes a different trajectory. I don't think it will be here, but it may be. And honestly, maybe. If Hutton is done after this year, maybe it is. Maybe it's Vejmelka and Wedgie next year. Wedgie show. I don't know. Way too early to tell.
Just the tandem nickname alone is worth it.
It is worth signing him
is.
just for that.
Literally just for that.
Good marketing.
And maybe Hutton will retire and he will work at his winery and
Love in Exile and send us free samples all the time.
Yeah.
So
he can be a sponsor of the show.
His partner's coming out here. I can't remember the date. He's coming out
anything?
here. Well, he said he's going to load me up, so we're going to have to have. I think we should have him on the show.
Load me up. There's no us there. Take care of the show. No, me. I'm getting plenty.
Never said anything about you guys. I don't know why.
By the way, you
Might
guys,
have been the 3 hours I spent with him at Love in Exile.
Craig is drinking a beer. I know
I
it's
drank a beer. It's gone.
Craig drank a beer.
Drinking water now because I found a water stashed. You said there was no water.
There was no
I found
water
one.
in the.
It
I
looks
also
frozen
saw.
to
You know what
me,
else I saw
Craig.
in the refrigerator? I saw Pellegrino. Did you buy that?
No.
Yeah.
Who bought it then? Who would have bought it if it wasn't
Leah's
you?
swinging by to get you some Pellegrino on our way to the show.
I just have to make sure my
Easy
co-hosts are taken care
So
of.
Somebody bought
Ottawa
a
and
Pellegrino.
Arizona still tied. Seattle's losing.
Wait, Ottawa and who?
Ottawa and Arizona says 24 points apiece. I don't know. That's I'm
Oh, yeah,
reading
okay.
here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Montreal's only
I
2
don't
back.
do the stats.
Montreal's only 2 back.
2 back at 22, and Seattle is at 28 and losing.
Those other teams are gone, aren't they? Like Buffalo and the Islanders are pretty much gone, aren't they?
I mean, they're 31. That's 7 points.
don't
For the
think
Coyotes
they're
to
a
get 7
threat.
points, that's a lot. I think Buffalo
Big
is
game
still
coming
going to
up with
continue to
Buffalo.
fall. I still think Buffalo is going to be considered in that pack, but then I think that's it.
Yeah.
Because New Jersey's next in Philly, and I don't think they're in that pack.
Yeah, sorry, Sean.
So I think it's a 5-team pack, and Buffalo is just on the outside of that pack right now. So Seattle, Ottawa, Arizona, Montreal, and I tell you what,
There it is.
Montreal, man.
They're working
I mean,
for
they got
it.
a point last night in Vegas.
They did, and they got a win the other night too, so they're okay.
Yeah, and if
right
they
now.
start feeling good
Hey,
about
if Carey
themselves,
Price comes back, just saying.
all bets are off. And that's what we've said in the show before too. Once you start winning, it's easier to win, and you feel good about yourselves, and things go well. When you lose, it's easier to lose. Just look at Edmonton. They've got such a big hole. I don't know how they get out of it, because once you lose, you keep losing. I don't think they're going to fall to the. Imagine if they get the lottery again.
Edmonton.
Could you imagine?
They need to disband the
there'll be
league.
mutiny.
They
There
need to
really
disband the
will
league.
be an angry panda moment for like multiple GMs if they win the lottery.
Edmonton is 22nd in the whole league right
be-
now, 38
It'd be
points.
unbelievable if they won it again.
It would be shocking.
It would be wrong.
So okay, so just briefly, we'll get into this discussion briefly,
Okay.
because we will talk about Edmonton, a team who has had the number one pick in the draft more than any other team in the last 20 years. Fair, and yet to see the success of those draft picks. So, having said that, we're all sitting here talking about the rebuild reminder, getting all excited about these high draft picks. Well, look at the model of a team that's had it. Okay, so then what? Buffalo gets Eichel. Oh, they've had good draft picks.
Yeah.
Where are they? They're still down here. Ottawa's had
I
good
would-
draft picks. They're still down here.
I would argue that a team like Pittsburgh did it successfully.
They did it probably as quickly as anybody. Pittsburgh.
When Pittsburgh got Sidney Crosby, you know who was battling out for last with them? Arizona Coyotes.
Yep.
And that was the year of the lockout, so they threw all the names back in a hat and pulled them out again. So instead of getting the second pick that year, the Coyotes got, somebody will have to look it up, it's 15th or 16th. But they were at the same level as the Pittsburgh Penguins at that time. But then you go ahead and you draft Crosby, Malkin, and Fleury. Well, your team gets better.
Yeah.
But
and you still have Mario there to
you pull
establish the
other people
culture.
around to surround that cast, and that's how you win. And it's the teams that are winning the cup drafted well. Boston is Bergeron, Marchand, but you surround them
Blackhawks,
with
Kane,
other
Taves,
people.
Keith.
Kane and Taves. You surround them with those pieces. The key is the surrounding. You got Draisaitl and McDavid. Then what? Then look at their roster and tell me then what.
That's the
Yeah.
problem is the rest of the construction of the roster. And they've handcuffed themselves.
And the goaltending you knew was an issue.
Look what they paid Mikko. Well, it wasn't Kenny Holland that paid Mikko Koskinen. That was Peter Chiarelli's parting gift. Just brutal contract for a goalie who's just not very good. And listen, I know Dave Tippett threw him under the bus in that one news conference, and a lot of people got upset about it. But
isn't he right, though?
Let's be blunt. Mikko Koskinen is a major part of the problem. He's been an awful goaltender.
We're mad at people in the interviews that don't give good answers. We're mad at people that tell the truth. Like, we can't have it every way.
Right.
Like, Tippett, was he lying?
Nope.
No. Anyway, the point of all that about Edmonton was be careful what you wish for here in Arizona. That was the point of the story, is just because you have a lot of draft picks, even if they are the number 1 draft pick, you still have to do a lot of things right. You still need to surround them with good players. You need to have great goaltending, good coaching, and on top of all of that, you still need a little bit of luck.
No question.
So we can all love the rebuild and we can all jump on the bandwagon and hope this all plays out well, but we've seen it through history that this doesn't always work. So
it's not a guarantee.
Exactly.
By any chance. And on the flip side of that, the Coyotes are going to play a team tomorrow, and I'm going to be writing about this tomorrow, that sent a letter out to their season ticket holders 4 years ago, almost to the date that they were going into rebuild mode. And yet here they are 4 years later, the New York Rangers, they're on top of their division.
First in the Metro.
And now they didn't do it the traditional way. They obviously had some draft picks, but they did it some other ways. They got Artemi Panarin, for instance. They brought some people in, but that's an interesting model. And, when I was looking at it first, I was like, well, New York's a huge market. They can do things that the Coyotes can't do. But when you start diving into the details, it's not all that crazy to think, could they speed up the rebuild? You got to get lucky in the draft, obviously. You got to get those key players in the draft. But then maybe, we're talking about a few years down the road, maybe a certain player comes home from Toronto and speeds up the rebuild as well.
Don't start that again. We'll get trolled on.
What's up, Toronto?
Yeah. No, but you're right. And if you do have success in those drafts coming up, then you put your foot on the gas. Let's go. Let's get a goaltender. Maybe it's Prosvetov at that time.
Better have a goaltender.
Maybe it's Prosvetov 3 years from now. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's Karel Vejmelka. I don't know. But whatever it is, if you draft that high 2 years in a row, it's go time. Like, let's go. And I think, let's not wait another 2 years for those guys to develop in the minors. And if you get those high picks these next 2 seasons, let's start building around them and let's teach this team how to win.
Right.
And you won't win the cup in year 1, probably not year 2, but let's make the playoffs by year 2 after those drafts. So 2 years of drafts, and that's 4 years.
In year 3 or year 4, you're talking about
playoffs.
Yeah. That's to me. And I'm not talking about being. I mean, the Rangers are.
Yeah.
Maybe a cup contender. I still think they have some holes in the lineup that may be exposed in
the
playoffs,
especially in the East.
Yeah, but they're a strong playoff team at this point. This is a team that can win a playoff round, certainly, maybe 2. So if you can get there in 4 years,
yes. Yeah, good on them. Yeah, so let's make note of that tomorrow as we're doing our game watch, because that's what we do, and just see what are the comparisons to the team the Coyotes are putting on ice to this team, and can this team, the Coyotes, be there in 4 years?
Right.
And we'll see.
Christian says, do you think Gunther makes the team next year?
If I'm a betting man, I say no. I don't think they want to put him in that situation.
I say no too.
Bill's quote to me when I asked him that very question recently was really telling. It was just like, we don't want to put our players in bad situations.
Yeah.
Is next season going to be a good situation? Next season's going to look like this season, a lot like this season. So to me, I think you let Dylan Gunther just go back, develop more confidence, really tear it up in the WHL, and then maybe even spend a year in the AHL when it comes up.
I think let him go lead the league in scoring. Let him be lights out. Let him play a World Junior tournament again. Because the fear is with this team this year, and you talk about what's this team going to look like next year, well, we're going to find out at the trade deadline what this team could look like next year. Because once they unload some pieces, they have a lot of bad contracts on this team that were 1 year deals that they probably won't re-up. So now we're going to see what kind of a team Bill Armstrong wants to design. They want Connor Bedard more than they want to build a winner for next year. Without question.
Yep.
That's the goal.
Yep.
So I don't know if it doesn't look a lot like this year, or maybe even a little bit worse on paper.
I don't have a lot of contracts going into next season. I think it's like 20 guys under contract.
Yeah, so I don't think Dylan Gunther plays.
So, and I don't know that they'll be able to do all the things that they did this offseason with, acquiring the bad contracts. But on the flip side, when you look at all the postponed games, I don't know what it's going to look like at the end of the season, but is the projected revenue going to be what the league thinks it's going to be? So is the cap going to go up, or is it going to stay stagnant, which will benefit the Coyotes once again because teams will have to shed some of those deals to do what they want to do?
Yeah.
All stuff to pay attention to. And also, as we talk about the future of the team, you can't talk about it without... We don't need to get deep into it, but it's, again, the tie into the Islanders is the future of the arena. And Craig had sent over, and I don't know if you got the chance to watch it, Petey, but basically the video, like it was like a hype video, if you will, or just kind of a recap.
I'm not an Islander fan. I watched it. I was like, I'm
like
jacked.
A recap of opening weekend at not USB, UBS.
Yeah, the USB is a port.
Plug-in arena.
Okay, you sent me two things. It was 3 friggin' pictures.
No,
I didn't see a video.
It's okay. Anyway, there was a video, and you could have literally taken the script and just where they said New York Islanders, put in Arizona Coyotes, and it would have fit. Because just the instability of not having an arena, having a fan base, not have that security, and now it's here. And literally the video is saying, like, we don't have to worry anymore. Like, that, it's over. We're home. That was the message. And, like, I almost had chills because I said, like, I just want to feel that as someone who's been following the Coyotes for so long. Could you imagine what that feels like? I was thrilled. I'm thrilled for the Islanders fan base. And look at this, look at this building. We have pictures. It's absolutely, I think, I mean, I've never been, but
I was supposed to be there this weekend, but
like,
you know,
incredible
COVID, travel.
Yeah. And then the inside too. It's like, it's a really nice building.
You include any of their suites? Those?
No, I didn't put them. But
most people don't get to go.
But the suites pictures look like you were inside a boutique hotel, like in Manhattan.
They're unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what's funny is, like, tomorrow they play at MSG, and I know a lot of people love MSG. The history of MSG is unbelievable, right? As an arena, MSG is one of the most overrated arenas in the league.
But isn't it one that players all the time say it's one of their favorite?
It's because of the history.
It's because of the history and the aura of being in the building, and you see that historic, iconic roof, and you know the Billy Joel banner, and it's
right.
It's
you get in the guts of that building. You get in the guts of that building. You're like, wow, it's.
Well, they put a lot of money into it. They did not put it into the visitor locker room, I'll tell you that.
No, they didn't. Or the media areas, or really any of the guts of the building.
No, but it's more about the history and what it is. Yeah. The new modern buildings are unbelievable. And you could go right down the list from Edmonton to Detroit. Those buildings are phenomenal buildings.
Little Caesars.
You feel like you're in a high-end home throughout those facilities. They're not arenas anymore. So, you know, let's hope, to Leah's point, let's hope that's what we're saying 4 or 5 years from now.
I can't. If I get to cover the opening of that arena, it'll be unbelievable.
Come out of retirement for that?
Yes, seriously.
I'm just saying.
Been writing about the arena now for.
I know. How many? You should.
Too many years.
All your arena stories.
Too many.
Yeah.
Years.
Let's hope. Let's truly hope that there's someday when there's a building that looks like that somewhere in the valley.
So come on, Tempe.
Yep.
Get it done.
Let's get it moving.
Get it done. You're gonna have a bunch of Coyote fans emailing you.
Yep.
Calling you, showing up at city council meetings. They're mobilized now.
Yep, they are. The arena. For sure. All right. Anything else from this game or related to the Islanders?
Oh God, no. Let's not talk about.
They're gonna have to play
anymore.
better. They're gonna have to play better tomorrow night. They're gonna have to find a way to get offense. They're gonna have to find a way to maintain the puck inside the blue line. They're going to have to stop on the forecheck, get some stops so they can get some shots on net, and absolutely need to defend better and defend on the rush better, or they are going to be in big trouble tomorrow.
Who are they facing in goal? Who played tonight in Carolina for the Rangers?
I honestly didn't.
I was curious about that. So
I don't know.
Well,
yeah, but it's a tall order. It's a tall order for them, and then to have to go to Pittsburgh to finish out this road trip. Tough games. We'll see.
Let's
but
see.
they will hit the midpoint of the season.
Georgiev.
Georgiev played tonight?
Yeah.
So they'll Shesterkin's playing tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a tough assignment.
It's my fantasy
That's
hockey
a tough assignment.
goalie.
But like I said, midpoint of the season, so it seems like a good time to pull up the punch card,
doesn't it? Yay! We're getting close to halfway.
Number 39. There it is.
Look how close we are to halfway. Look at all this size. I think that's just the theme of the night.
It is. We should put something special on the halfway mark.
We should.
41. Isn't that Mike Smith's number?
Yes, it is.
What if we put Mike Smith's face there instead of the usual color?
Yep,
we put there?
we could. Western Conference Finals run. Thanks, Mike.
Oh my God. All right. Well, certainly not the most thrilling Coyotes game of all time. But we're here every night for you. So we will be back tonight for the post-game show after the Rangers game here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. If you're not already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. You can, the videos are posted in the morning, so you can set reminders for the post-game show so you know exactly when we're going live. If you're listening on audio, please be sure to leave us a review. 5 stars, write something nice.
Only 5 stars.
Yes. And we
don't accept less.
Write something nice about, I don't know, Craig's hair, Petey's attitude.
Wow.
Or Leah's giggles.
Yeah, whatever tickles your fancy.
Whatever tickles your fancy.
So,
there it is.
It's a wig, by the way.
Yeah. You
need
to
dye
where's
it,
your
right?
glasses?
You dye it for sure.
I don't.
You don't?
Look at the gray in my sides, man.
2 minutes for looking so good.
No, it doesn't. It's a mess, man. It's a mop up here.
My God. Charles said pack therapy makes it worth it. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. We appreciate you all. We're getting through it together, and we will be back tomorrow night. So we'll see everyone then. And until then, enjoy a day of football tomorrow, everyone, and happy betting as well. And we'll see everyone tomorrow. Good night.